I can feel once, twice, thrice. He told me, you said, you said, you said, yeah.
On your finger?
Like a crack right at the corner of the
skin
fingernail. Yeah, it's split, and it's just open because I work in a restaurant and always cleaning my hands and stuff, and it just dries out your skin.
Ooh.
This cold weather. We just had ice the other day, and now today it's like 60-some degrees.
Jeez.
Puppy
hype.
hype. Yorkie hype. Which one? I'll do it. I got two of them. All right. Well, I think they came out around the same time, if I'm not mistaken, on the Xbox 360. Was actually the actual Game of Thrones game. If anybody ever played it, not the Telltale, but the actual Game of Thrones full game. I was so hyped about the show, loved the show, and then I get this game, and I'm like, what in the world is this? It was just nothing that I expected. Yeah, it's a lot of role play and all that, but not the likeness of the characters was good. But other than that, I just didn't like gameplay whatsoever. It was just really slow. I honestly, and the other game that I'm thinking of was the remake of GoldenEye 007 for the Xbox as well.
People are saying that no one can hear.
I had myself muted on XSplit, but Skype should not be muted.
Well, someone said
I saw Adro mention
that everyone's so quiet.
Yeah, I had myself muted on XSplit, but
Mai says he can hear.
It should
Yeah.
be
Mai.
everybody
Mai
else.
Trust
can-
Mai.
Well, if Mike can hear it,
Turn your
You got-
volume up, people.
Gotta
Yeah.
love that Mai.
I was
Gotta love that Mai.
like I said, I had my
Oh, we can hear now.
I had my microphone muted on XSplit when I started the show back up, but yeah, that was they couldn't hear me, which was probably
Go ahead and go roll with the intro again, I guess.
They couldn't hear me, which was probably a good thing. So, but go ahead, Bill.
Ah, I see.
Well, right now, guys, if if you do or don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about our most disappointing games that we have played. We were all hyped and waiting for it, and then just didn't pan out. But then I had 2 games in mind, guys. The first one, as I said, was Game of Thrones, the actual complete game. Not the Telltale, because the Telltale ones are fantastic, but the actual game itself, which I was so hyped about, and I thought it was just going to be fantastic. And I get it, and all the role playing and all that's there, but the likeness of characters was great and all that, but just the physics and everything of the game just wasn't for me. I just couldn't do it. I really can't explain because I didn't play too much of it because I stopped playing after about 2 hours. Yeah, but I'll give it a try again sometime. Maybe I'll stream it, but I don't know. It just wasn't for me. And the other game was the remake of GoldenEye 007 on the Xbox. A lot of it looked like the original from the 64, but the gameplay was just. I would rather have my old 64 character with their arms sticking out, just like this, running around, playing that, and it just wasn't the same. It's never going to be the same. All those remakes, they're just never the same. But those were my disappointing games. Yeah, they'll be right there.
Anytime they do I'm always skeptical when a remake is done of something, whether it be a game, a movie, whatever. There's a movie.
No. Another big one. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go
was
for it.
The Halo Master Chief Collection.
Craig just double face bombed.
For me, I'm sorry. Yeah. All right, Halo 2, perfect. Can't go wrong with that. All the others, I just wasn't happy with.
Craig just double face bombed.
I don't know. For me, it just wasn't for me.
That was mine. That was the one I had in mind right there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to exaggerate on it. I just want to say that one. No, you can exaggerate on that one a bit, but I'm just adding that in there. Sorry, Craig. A little bit. Sorry, I put 3 in there. I should have just put 1. My bad. Anyway, you can actually. We'll just go ahead and go to you now, and you can exaggerate on.
Elaborate.
Expound on.
Elaborate, not exaggerate. Elaborate. Thank you. See, that's why you need a female.
I'll
what
expound
I'm here for.
on what Bill was just brought up, which was the Halo Master Chief Collection, and it was truly disappointing. I was so looking forward to actually being able to play and play with people in multiplayer, and it was just so broken. It was unplayable. And the thing with me, and it just like they put out these games, and then at the start they're unplayable, and they're like, okay, we're sorry, but we're gonna put out updates and all this stuff, and I think they even said that we're gonna be able to download, what was it, Halo ODST, but who the hell wants Halo ODST? Anyways, like GG, you guys. But I mean, to me, it was just terrible, unplayable as far as the multiplayer aspect was, and that's the kind of thing that I was looking forward to, especially along with the campaigns and everything are great too. But I mean, I just remember playing Halo 2, and it was in my basement, and like we were like juniors and passing the controllers back and forth and playing split screen and stuff like that, and I mean, it was just unplayable, and the thing is, they can say they're sorry, they could release a game before it goes out and everything like that, but there's no like responsibility for them to do any more than that. Like, they could just release a broken game, people could spend their hard-earned money or whatever on it, and it'd be broken, and I don't know, it just makes me upset even thinking about what a massive failure it was. and how disappointed I was that I, invested in it, invested time and money and everything like that. So that definitely is like my biggest failure. Another, I guess I won't say anymore because I don't know what Chelsea and Dorian and everyone else have. So I'll leave it on to let's hear what Dorian's. I want to hear Dorian's like biggest.
We're gonna go down memory lane.
Oh, do
Nothing
it.
recent. When I was a kid, I was really excited. You remember, I enjoyed the
Oh.
NES. I didn't play Super Nintendo because I didn't own one. So we went from NES that my dad and my mom had. So we were playing, Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros. And Mega Man, all those good games. And we went right from NES to N64. And I remember playing for the first time, enjoying Super Mario 64 and Mario Kart, GoldenEye, I think Perfect Dark. And Banjo Kazooie games, I really enjoy those. They're really great for what genre they are. So back then, I'm still a fan of DC Comics. This is probably what people are going to think of, but Superman 64. I don't know if you guys ever played that. I was so
That
hyped.
game.
When I was a kid, I was so excited. We went. My mom took me to Toys R Us, young child here, and big fan of
Full of
enjoying
dreams.
Batman, and getting a chance to play Super Mario 64. So my brother and I would take turns, right, doing missions and stuff, and I thought the controls. I was like, now we think we have two analog sticks for our controllers, but this only had one analog stick, and I was really confused, like how the buttons work,
Right in
because
the
I was
middle.
playing Super Mario 64 and Banjo, and understanding that you can use the controls, move the analog stick, and using the C buttons to change the camera and stuff. And I would always like we get to like the flying sequences of Super Mario 60, no, Superman 64. I would always nosedive into the ground, and there's like these weird things, like Superman's supposed to be vulnerable, but I'm dying from like the stupidest things. Like, what is going on? What is happening? The voiceovers were really bad. I started yelling. I kept on pressing the reset button each time I would get angry, and my brother was like, back then, said, why are you doing that, Dorian? Come on. And the game was so weird. The running mechanics were really bad. I don't know what really exactly happened. That was a licensed game. My days of playing N64, there were so many good games that I've already listed, but when we came to Superman, one of the most iconic superheroes in the comic books lore, it was just crap. Like, everything was really bad, and I still own the game. It's somewhere stored, but I don't think I ever beat it. I just got bored of it. It was just so archaic, like for the time and controls. I don't know if I could go back and play it. That would be like a torture stream. Worst game ever. Watch the rage be real, and it would be bad. A lot of mother fathers would be disappointed. Yeah.
A lot of those were thrown.
I don't know what exactly went into that game. Like I said, the controls for Super Mario 64 being a platformer, Banjo Kazooie being a platformer.
Like, did they?
They just did it wrong. They flipped. I don't know. It was like stiff mechanics, and it was just really bad. I don't know what happened.
Star Fox 64.
It's like they didn't play it.
Oh yeah,
before
Star
they
Fox, great game.
Released it.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Star Fox was a great game.
There's no way they can
love that game.
patch the game back in the day. So it's just like, there you go. Have a bricked game. You can't do anything about it, But that was definitely my worst game that I've played. Didn't beat it. Just couldn't do it. Being Superman. Another game in recent memory. Probably something on the PS2. I don't know. I have to ponder. I think there was something on PlayStation 2. I noticed, like, I don't know, EA. Some games from EA just come broken. There's games on the PS2 that I enjoyed. I don't know if you ever guys like Madden, but those games back in the day were fun, but when it came to online, PS2 when that network adapter first came out, I don't know if you guys remember on the PS2 where you had your PlayStation 2 and then you had to buy this like little brick thing goes onto the back. You had Ethernet and then you also had dial-up, back in the day, and I don't know, online, I would get so angry. It's not like the worst, but online, like the disconnects, like people would like just quit the game because, I'm running up the score and I would get the loss. So those are like worst experience that I can remember on PlayStation 2, like Madden, playing online, because those were, the game, single player was fun, but online it was just broken. Like people would disconnect and the rage of like me getting like I don't even want to go back there, but frustrations are real. So yeah, no, I would say, but overall worst game and experience, Superman 64. Just
Bob's in the chat says worst game, Duck Dynasty. That and Deadliest Catch. Oh, I tried playing that. But yeah.
Is it me?
You're up.
It's my turn?
You're up.
Okay. So, Destiny. But then again, I wasn't like hyped up for it. Other people were hyped for me. Like I had all of these people saying, "Oh my gosh, you have to get this game. It's so great. I love it. It's like an MMO. It's nothing like an MMO." But I was hyped through others, and though I enjoyed it at first, the more I played it, the more I hated it, and I will never play it again. But the game that I was so excited for, like counting the days till it came out, was Mario Kart 8. Me and my husband are huge Mario Kart fans and will battle each other on, like, we would play for hours and hours Mario Kart 7 or Mario Kart Wii or whatever one it was. So we were really excited for 8. And then it came out. And then the multiplayer side-by-side display, who thought of that? Like, who thought to change the visual from, one player on top, one player on bottom, to, like, down the middle? Like, that's the worst decision that anyone could ever make for a racing game. You cannot see around corners anymore. Like, it's so stupid. And we have raged so much about it. Like, we'll start to play the game because we're like, oh, yeah, Mario Kart. And then we go, oh, God, and, like, turn it off immediately. Like, I cannot play that game anymore.
I can't.
And the only way to save it, for me, is for them to make, like an update to change the view. That's it.
Like, wouldn't they, like, I can't imagine them not creating an option where you could change it. Like, I could see them, like, going from vertical to horizontal or whatever.
Exactly. I don't, they're when the game first came out, there was no settings. There was absolutely no settings. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't even change, like, I don't even think you could choose individual races. But, like, another thing that was really annoying was they switched. Like, you can watch the highlight reel. They switched it with the next race button that was there previously. And so you would constantly go to the highlight reel instead of going to the next race. And then you have to wait for the thing to reload so you can go to the next race. It's just really frustrating. That game is enraging for so many reasons.
She's getting pissed right now. Listen at her.
I am. I'm so mad.
She's getting worked up.
I do. That game really upsets me.
Feelings.
She's about to start throwing expletives.
I am. And I'm good at it.
Yeah, a lot of salt in Mario Kart. Been there.
Yeah, so that's the game that I would choose.
It's the bucket full of salt for you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So, the one that stands out in my mind was ESO.
Elder Scrolls Online.
Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh.
I put an end to that.
So just like you, I was counting the days of when I would have my hands on it. I pre-ordered it I got the collector's edition. I'm not going to tell you how much I
Yep.
spent on it because I kick myself in the ass every time. But yeah, I bought the collector's edition. Installed it, and started playing. Now, for an MMO, like it generally takes a little bit for you to realize that it's a terrible game. Is the bad part is the bad part about it. So I did play it a lot, and the idea of it and the mechanics to me of what an MMO is and what this game did, I I was allured by that because it was the whole thing of uh, it's an Elder Scrolls game, so you can wear any kind of armor, wear any kind of use any type of weapon, and you wasn't kind of like stuck on doing one thing like all the other MMOs do. Um, and I always play in MMOs. I typically play healing classes. Um, the healing mechanic in that game was terrible. Um, and being able to, oh man, it was so bad once I got to the point where I realized that my character was advanced enough to do things that wasn't like noobish, because you have to develop a character and see what it can do before you really can form an opinion. So after about 2 months of playing this game, I wanted all that time back. I've seen people still stream it, people still play it. It's not as popular. There was a lot of hype around the game when it first came out. Um, they,
That's how we met, Solvis.
yeah, that is how we met.
Yeah.
I was playing ESO, and then I decided to turn on Twitch one night, and saw that Bill was streaming, and he had just started playing. So that's how we started interacting. But it was just, on paper, and it's always terrible, but on paper and all the cutscenes and everything looked really good. And the PvP was supposed to be this grand scale thing, and it was just so broken.
Yeah.
That it was really not worth doing. And the rewards for doing it were not worth what the time and effort you had to spend to get them. So it was just all around terrible. But it's supposedly they've made updates to it, and it's like the game runs better. But as far as the content is concerned, it's pretty much still the same thing. So I mean, they have like the end, quote unquote, end game where you have groups of high level people doing whatever for loot, but um, uh, man, such a disappointing
Still
game.
waiting for it to come out on console.
Yeah, and
No,
they're
I'm just
still
kidding.
supposed to be releasing it on console. There's still plans for that to be a thing, and I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I do not know um, if it's worth their effort now because it has died on the PC.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was much like I'm not going to say that this game was a big letdown, but it wasn't a letdown for me. Um, but it was much like Star Wars MMO when it came out. Like there was a lot of hype around it. And I personally enjoyed that game, but it died off very quickly as far in terms of population. Um, but I was okay with that game. I just didn't. It was during the time that I got promoted at work, and I had to leave for 10 weeks for training out of town. And if you play an MMO and then not play for 10 weeks, you're behind
You're screwed.
on everything. So, and ESO was right around the corner, so I decided just to wait for that to come out. Um, So, another game that I would say I'm disappointed about is for a PC port, GTA 5.
Mm,
Waiting simulator, cloud simulator.
yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. Remember those Saints Row streams, Dorian?
Yeah, good times. The Selfless would always put a creative title like. All right, let me see if I can remember one. It would be like, you know, playing Saints Row instead of GTA, or Rockstar doesn't make PC game or GTA or something like
Yeah.
that. Still waiting, whatever. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
As
Street-
much as,
Goat
as I
Simulator.
enjoy, yeah, as much as I enjoy the story of the game and the single player of that game is refined and done well. It went and passed quality assurance, but online with the cloud sim and the notorious invites. But when your viewers, your subs, mods, all that want to play with you, and there's an invites button. This is like invite crew, invite friends, all that
Yeah, spam,
doesn't
spam,
work.
spam.
Does not work. So what do you do, right? What you're supposed to do? And there's so many different forms on there. Like, all right, at the end of the playlist, it's going to work. Like, why would you even do a playlist? Why would the playlist even have a function of inviting if it's not going to work? And then as Quadro knows this, and a few people in my stream, I tweet out to Rockstar and I said, "This is not working. What do I do?" And they say, some generic copy and paste robotic message. Have you tried doing this? Or if this doesn't work for you, submit a ticket. And then I submit a ticket, they get back to me, and then it's the same thing that they would tell me to go. It's me, not them, and I would have to go through that whole jazz. So yeah, no, I'm finding like as much as that game did really well for the story, and that's the reason why I play GTA's because I'm more interested in the story. But online is quite fun sometimes, more rage than anything in Cloud Sim. Yeah, I feel like a lot of these online components of games are over promised, I guess, and under delivered, or a lot of sizzle, not much steak. And I'm finding that more and more in these games that are coming out broken, and I
Yep.
normally just don't jump into online as much. Like in my opinion, the next 3 games I'm looking forward to is Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, which is story first. There's going to be some online, competitive online stuff, but story first. Batman, I love the Batman games.
Yep.
That's story first. Rocksteady makes some great stuff. And then The Witcher, only story.
Oh,
So
The Witcher.
those games, I feel I can go in confidence that I can buy them day one. People ask me, how come you didn't buy Destiny? How come you didn't buy this game? Why didn't you play Call of Duty? Because for the last generation, when I was playing Call of Duty, for example, I played Call of Duty 4 and Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2 and a bit of Modern Warfare 3. Day one launch, and for the first week, it's broken. It is. It's just broken. So it dissuades me from any chance of playing it. Then I'll maybe come back, which I did at that time, and it was overall good. But I see more and more of these games that they're just broken for half a year, and then it finally fixes it, and then I'm like, yep.
Yep. Still wait.
Or they save like most of it for DLC that you have to pay for later, so it
Yeah.
has no story to it.
Yep. Still waiting for that heist, Dorian.
Yeah, no.
Nice.
On like that DLC note, I remember I think it was Resident Evil 5 that was on PS3, PC, and Xbox 360. But it was first released on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. There was like a 4 kilobyte. I'm telling you, 4 kilobyte download to unlock a certain game mode.
Oh God.
So they actually had the DLC, the downloadable content, was on the disc. So you actually had to unlock it. It's like, why you do this?
Wow. I've tweeted Rockstar before
Ready for
too,
you to
Dorian.
purchase it, even though it's already there.
I've tweeted Rockstar before too. I was having problems connecting to online, and I was like, GTA 5 online, why you no work? And they was like, have you tried resetting your Xbox? And I was like, really?
Oh yeah, hard reset.
Unplug it and
on the
plug it back in.
Xbox. That's the cure-all. That's
Yeah.
a cure-all.
Yeah, that's
like
gonna-
if you
that's
ever
really gonna
call
fix
up
your invite
Xbox
system.
support or anything, they're like hard reset. That's the first thing they ask is, did you do a hard reset? Because it's like the cure-all.
I know, dude. I'm just like, no, that's not the problem.
Yeah, and I'm also looking forward to Batman. The only problem I have with the Batman games is that they're so beautiful and 99% of the time detective mode, which ultimately.
Robot.
Yeah.
Robot Craig.
A little bit of robot going on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
am I robot?
Yeah,
little bit,
just
yeah,
a little
baby.
bit.
Sorry.
Not as bad as Bill was earlier, but it was.
Oh no, that was amazing. Pew, 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 pew.
That was funny.
Grandma boy.
But I don't know. Everybody's talking about games they're looking forward to. I'm trying to think of something. I don't.
Oh, I know.
Oh, say it.
What about Bloodborne?
Hardline. Oh my god. I am so looking forward to Hardline. I'm actually new to Battlefield. I've only been playing it for about 2 months. And there's so much about Battlefield 4 that I love, and so much about it that I hate. Because you're this big macho like soldier, and I have to jump over a curb. Like, I can't just walk over a curb. I have to climb over a curb. And in Hardline, they've fixed a lot of like the buggy movement, and I'm so excited about that because that's like my only issue with Battlefield.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'll just quickly chime in. Since day one, or about a month after I picked up the PC version of Battlefield 4, and it's still buggy today on all platforms. But yeah, what Chelsea said, when I played the latest Hardline beta, I don't actually have to press the X button or the space key to jump over, a less than a foot low curb, maybe half a foot curb, or getting stuck on a doorway, or
a bush.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and then you get killed. But yeah, there's those little things that where it's like, oh, the fundamental movements of the game is broken. It's like, how did you do this? How did it pass? So yeah, no, playing the Hardline, that was it felt really good.
Those games are looking better and better every time they come out. Those Battlefield ones. Everybody knows that I'm not a first-person shooter guy, but I do. Battlefield 3, I played a lot of with friends of mine, but I enjoyed playing that game. But I had it on PC. To me, it gets weird playing a first-person shooter with a controller. Like, mouse and keyboard feels more natural in a first-person shooter to me. That's just personal preferences. Well, on the subject, Bill, you looking forward to anything?
Bill?
Well, I would love to. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good?
Yep.
Good?
Yeah, we can hear you, Bill.
Bacon.
I would love to play Bloodborne. Is that even out now? Is that out now? No, it's not out yet. The
Not yet.
order's
Think
out,
so.
not Bloodborne. I would love to play that, but I don't have a PS4. But I'm kind of interested in seeing what the supposedly it's a new Black Ops coming out. Maybe. I'm
Is
not
there?
sure. I don't know. That's what I've heard, but I could be wrong.
Huh.
Like a Black Ops
I've heard
3.
rumor,
I
but
don't know.
nothing confirming it.
Yeah, nothing confirmed yet, but I'd like to see what they have to offer because I don't know what they're going to do now that they've had exosuits in Advanced Warfare, and now you're going to go back to classic play.
Well,
It's
you can do
gonna-
classic play
it's gonna
in
just-
Advanced Warfare. They have the option.
Right, you can, but yeah, it's just I don't know. There's not much I really think of at the moment, honestly, except the next episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the Telltale game. I enjoy those.
Oh, I thought you meant like the actual season
Yes.
starting up.
Oh yeah, the season's starting up.
April, right?
Yeah.
Oh
well.
yeah.
Oh, the trailer looks so good. Oh,
I haven't seen it. I'm excited. They're gonna like
Yeah,
finish
I'm
all,
very
like all of
excited.
the books in this show before he comes out with the next book.
yes. Confirmed.
It got really quiet.
Yeah, well, I'm typing right now. Sorry, but those that Walking Dead Telltale game was really fun, and I haven't finished it yet. I need to go back and do that one.
Another one that I can think of that'd be worth trying out. I enjoy the Star Wars. Is Battlefront. I enjoyed those games.
Shush is
Oh,
stunning.
Battlefront.
yes.
Now I don't know if that is been announced for a 2015 release. However, the games that were for the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox and PC, I enjoyed those, especially with the second one when they brought out the space flying combat. You would have like your big ship, that are the you have the rebels, and then you have the Empire big ship, and then you would actually be able to go inside them and use the gun turrets and have like mini battles and stuff. Definitely, those were a lot of fun, and it's created by Dice. A little skeptical, to be honest, due to the nature of how Battlefield 4 was initially released. But maybe they're going to have some cleanup. I'm not a game developer, but I'm sure in overall this time they have learned that basic maneuvers and movement of the game will have to be, you know, good. Like if there's online issues, there's online issues. But if the basic fundamentals of you can't jump, especially if you're a Jedi, you can't like jump over the smallest rock, then something's wrong. You're doing it wrong. So yeah, with this Battlefront looks pretty neat. That I would like to get my hands on. Too bad about LucasArts because they were going to be developing a Battlefront game, and then LucasArts was closed down, and EA and Disney decided that they would have development for EA games.
Yeah, I was kind of sour about that LucasArts going away. To be completely honest,
There was
because
there
there was that bounty hunter game that was supposed to be coming out.
Star Wars 1313, I think it was.
Yeah,
That's what I was looking for. It looked great. They had a nice trailer for it. Getting the I don't know how the game would have turned out, but from what I saw from the gameplay mechanics and bounty hunter, like that looked like a lot of fun. I really did.
that it did. Looks like Bill's returning to the call. There he is.
Okay. I was greeting my husband.
All right, so, Bill, you good
Yeah, it should be for the time being.
for the time being? All right, we're going to move on.
We gotta keep Solfus busy, right?
I know, dude.
Yeah.
Last week it was Craig with his power cord, and now it's Bill using a G4.
Don't worry. Tomorrow, everything should be all good.
Everything should be
As
great.
long as I get to the door.
There you go. So we're gonna move on, and I was. This is actually a topic that I just kind of came up with, but all these games that I've been playing lately, especially Dead Rising 3 and most recently Dying Light, and with the popularity of The Walking Dead, so all things zombies, everything else like as in horror goes, kind of has trends with like vampires, werewolves, slasher flicks, kind of whatever. They kind of seem to come and go in popularity, but the zombie thing has kind of remained, and it never gets old to people for some reason. So zombie movies, TV shows, games. I did my homework for everybody. So the first the first known zombie film was made in 1932.
I want to say I saw that on a show or something like that about the zombie culture.
Yeah, and it's the first movie in 1932 was called White Zombie, believe it or not, and not the band, but the movie. And so the premise of it was that a person kind of became a zombie through voodoo. And then there's the movie after that, which was released in 36, was actually the sequel to that one.
Thanks.
And then after that, it just took off. So why is it that these things do not lose popularity? Chelisamarie, you want to take this one?
I'm probably the wrong person to start with this because I do not like zombies.
But you play Dying Light.
Dying Light is a completely different story because Dying Light is more than just a game about zombies. There's so much more to the mechanic of it. And it has a pretty good story, despite the zombie aspect. I think you could substitute something other than zombies in there, and it would still be a really good game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have never. I don't watch Walking Dead. I've never seen an episode of it. I don't usually play zombie games. I do not seek thrill from watching horror movies. So, yeah, I don't really have much to say on this subject other than I don't like zombies and I think they should stop.
So, I will tell you this without giving anything at all away. The Walking Dead, much like you just said, that Dying Light, there's so much more things going on. And
So much more.
the zombies are kind of a side thing. That is what The Walking Dead is. There's so much going on in that TV series, and the zombies are just kind of a thing that's there. It's not like the real focus.
Yeah.
So
I felt the first season was a lot of like glory zombie killing.
It
Definitely
was.
a lot more gore and a lot more zombie killing and focusing on killing zombies. I feel like that was the first season and it was more of like a shock and awe thing. But now that they've got characters and developing stories and yeah, very much the feels come out, you know, because it's a lot along with like if you enjoy like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. I think you would enjoy it, not because it's like the genres. I mean, it's definitely a change of feels of getting connected to characters and stuff like that. So,
yeah, the first season was definitely like that. But like you had any like TV series that goes on, you know, you have to have those beginning episodes to where you kind of have to build people and their backstories and stuff. So you have to have that kind of moment on screen where like, oh my God, did that just happen? You know, to grab your attention. But as it goes on, there's more, you know, it's really all about the characters and their stories. So after that, she is now out of breath because she talked very long-winded about that topic. But so no horror movies, huh?
Yeah.
No?
Not really. No. It's weird, you know, considering like I play a lot of first-person shooters, you know, so there's a lot of violence in those games, but I don't know. It's my husband thinks it's weird too. Like I can play violent games, but there's a line, you know. There's the type of violence and like I can watch war movies where people are getting blown up, but I can't watch something like I won't play GTA because it's like, I don't know, street violence. It's the bad guys, not the good. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
But you can be a good bad guy.
You can be a good bad guy?
Sure, you can be a bad guy with morals.
Like Boondock Saints?
Yeah, sure.
A good bad guy?
Yeah.
Well, I liked Boondock Saints.
there's like good bad guys in Game of Thrones as well.
Oh, well, I
Like,
love Game
them
of
are
Thrones.
considered-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that in Game of Thrones there's a lot of gray area.
Yeah.
You know, you do
There's a
bad
lot of
things for
gray
good
area
reasons and vice versa.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's exactly.
y'all have
same
something.
as
Y'all have
The Walking
something
Dead,
on
too.
me versus that because I've never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones.
Well, you should read it. It is a book.
It is
I mean,
a
I've
thing.
I've seen the show too, and the show is awesome. But I feel like the show leaves a lot out of, like a lot out, and changes the
As
story.
most everything does. So,
Greg
actually,
remembers this one, the old.
What?
Oh yeah,
What just happened?
that's the whole, the whole. I
Yeah.
won't go into gory
Yeah.
detail, but the whole
Is Bill still there?
mountain
Apparently, that little
scene.
moment killed his feed.
apparently so. So
Rip.
the Walking Dead was based off of a graphic novel. So that's a thing. I actually own that, so it's pretty good. It like anything else that goes from, you know, book medium to TV, it does change. There goes Bill again, man. Um, so Dorian, zombies.
Zombies. Why do we love them so much? I'm not really a zombie fan myself.
Wow, I just picked a really bad
Games.
topic.
No, no, no. It's a good. I don't. I haven't played. Let's say for the video games. I haven't played too much zombies. Like I did play the Call of Duty zombies. I know that kind of for the gaming side. I feel like that was. I know Resident Evil and very zombie like, and other horror games, right? And those are fun. I enjoy those and the stories that go on. But as of late, I feel like in terms of overall pulp culture, everything for the gaming, area it was probably Call of Duty what made it so fascinating. Like, hey, you know what? Instead of blowing up, these bad guys or whatever, we can just beat the crap out of these people that we may not like and consider them zombies and just put a target on their head and blow them up. And with the Nazi zombies, like, oh, we hate those Nazis, whatever. So we'll just make something that let's say a general mass may not like, and just beat them to a pulp. Put it that way. They felt a self gain of interest and intrigue. I didn't play those games. I didn't play the Black Ops or the zombie mode that was there. I enjoyed the Resident Evil games. I thought those were really good because there's more stuff going else besides zombies because of a virus and a corrupt corporation or what's going on, right? And then there's games like, I think everyone might know where I'm going, but DayZ, where it's like survival. Like there's no technology. You have to live by building your own little campfire and looting for goods, and maybe you'll collectivize and get everyone together in one little group and start building their own little communities. The thought of not having technology and the things that we may take for granted in life that now we actually have to. So there's might be intrigue in that too. Why zombies in general, may want people to like, hey, I can kind of live with a group of people, not having the technology that we have, and just enjoy the little things. I guess if that might be the word, but that's what I've noticed. But then there's like DayZ, which, in my opinion, again, it's a game that you loot and you grab stuff, and you get together with a team or you just become total jerks in the game. I've seen people do that. They become bandits and
Yeah.
just kill you. And there's self-satisfaction in doing that. People like to do that, so that's fine. But as far as I know, when it comes to zombies and stuff, like, yeah, just you said there, Bill, like, how long can you live? How long can you live? And that's, I noticed with Call of Duty, the zombies, like, how many rounds can you go for? Another record thing. But with movies and books, I'm not too familiar with it too much. I've seen The Walking Dead. I'm not familiar with the latest season. But what you touched on there, Craig, on other stories going on, having these other groups meet up and how they adjust to situations, and where has the humanity of things have gone? Like, where this is the new defining of humanity. This is what's going on in that universe of The Walking Dead. That's what that's the way I think of zombies overall. but I'm not particularly a big fan on them. But games like Resident Evil, there's a bigger picture involved, but Nazi zombies or Call of Duty stuff or that. I don't know. I think I've already had my fill.
Um, so it seems like you said, Dorian, like all these games, there's always something else going on, and the zombies are just kind of there.
Yeah.
It seems like for some reason all these games want to just bring them out to the forefront in one way or the other. There's kind of an obstacle in the game more than really the focus. Craig? Wait, first of all, do you
as
like
far as
zombies
zombie-
or no? Do you like them or no? Because
I
somebody else
love
does.
zombies.
Okay.
I love zombies. I love zombies in Minecraft. I love zombies in video games. I love zombies in TV shows, things like that.
All
Big
right.
fan of zombies,
So why are they
especially The
popular?
Walking Dead. I think it's a test. It's a test of your endurance. It's a test of your strength, your will to live, your survival skills. It's also a test of your morals. How far are you willing to go, and is there a line that you are willing to cross or not to cross? And are you going to I think that's exactly why people love zombies. It's a way, and it's in a universe to which where you can really have a discussion. Like, if it came down to it, would I do this? Would I be able to step up and do this to survive, or am I just going to give up and die? And I think that's it's just a way in a universe where they can allow that to happen and kind of express it more openly than
Yeah.
like any other universe. I think
Definitely.
I think it's just easier to justify the types of actions that they have to take, and whether or not you just kill somebody outright because you're worried about what they might do, or if you wait and to find out who they are, or what they are about. I think that's exactly what zombies in the zombie universe is definitely about. Just kind of to test you. And
Right.
I just like okay. I think that's all I have about zombies. I love
Bill?
Well, I'm not real big into the zombie culture. I
Damn
really
it.
never have been. But as you said, like honestly, like for me, it's just when it comes to zombies, it's like Minecraft. Survive the night, ultimate survival. You need to prepare yourself, get ready because they are coming. It's just that I don't know. For me, I can't really elaborate on it much because, as I said, I'm not big. I mean, I have Dying Light. I play it. People, want to see me go against zombies, but there's for some reason in that game they do it to make it interesting. Like when they have the certain types of zombies, the really fast ones that just or the ones that explode, the ones that spit on you, this and that, blah blah blah, which makes it interesting. But you also that's, as I said, they're just a side part in that there's a lot to do in that game. But for me, as I said, I've never been really big into the zombie culture, so I really can't give you too much on that subject, really.
That's terrible. When I sent out that format, you all guys should have replied and said, I don't like zombies.
Well, that doesn't
Sorry.
mean we can't discuss.
I
them.
love zombies.
Yeah. I mean,
There's one. I don't want to. This may overstep the gaming boundaries, but Dag Nabbit mentioned The Last of Us. Now, that game, like I said, like Resident Evil, it's not. I don't think the words ever use zombie. In this case, for Resident Evil and The Last of Us, it's some type of health pandemic that went on. It's a virus, for example. Now, I don't know the lore too well of The Walking Dead and these other zombie stuff, but with the story that takes place in The Last of Us between these two characters, Ellie and Joel, and seeing the relationship. See, it's a very biotic and growing and dynamic relationship between those two characters. From the beginning, they don't really care for each other. Now, as the story progresses and they go through the adversity of challenge and surviving, and I don't want to spoil anything, but they have an objective to get somewhere. That's the end game of the story, is that they want to get to a certain place to find some information, and just the journey, the adventure that goes on. That's what makes The Last of Us, in my opinion, the best PlayStation 4 game that you can buy right now. Even though it was developed
Oh,
for the
wow.
PS3, it is the best game. It does have its multiplayer. I haven't touched
Involving
it.
zombies or in general?
For this online, I haven't played it, so I'm not familiar of how the gameplay works. And I know Larissa and Roz like, get on there, but I haven't. But the story is top notch. I would highly recommend it. They're looking at doing a feature film, I think, about it. But when it comes to video game movies, I don't want to go on another topic, but
Yeah.
the story and the biotic relationship between Ellie and Joel and the people that they meet and the adversity, I highly recommend it. It is fantastic. But yeah, for like zombie-ish, yeah, they're called clickers, and it was all because of a health hazard. And the story is just top notch.
Yeah, Dorian, I'm not there. Like any movie that or any video game that gets made into a movie is usually subpar, and any video
Yeah.
games that are taken from a movie are just as terrible. It ends up being.
Well, I think because I think that Hollywood doesn't acknowledge the fact that how big the video gaming industry is, and they don't take it serious. That they don't make a serious movie. That they put some kind of production together, half-assed to cash in on the name, and that's what they do. Um,
I'm
as
still
my,
ready for a Halo movie.
that's
Not
that's
a series,
yeah.
a movie.
That's my opinion of what Hollywood does with video games. I'm kind of
Isn't there a Halo movie?
It's
There's
always been like little.
Forward Unto Dawn.
Yeah.
That was actually really good. I
Yeah,
I'm
like
talking
it's
about
on
like a big
Netflix.
time
It's on
Netflix.
production
the instant
with,
streaming Netflix.
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but if I remember, it wasn't really much about Master Chief. It was more about the cat.
yeah.
But I really like that movie.
So for me, I'm actually a fan of the horror genre, despite most of these people in here. I actually grew up watching slasher flicks and things. To me, when like vampire movies and kind of werewolf movies and things are kind of go up and down in popularity. Zombies still just kind of ride that line.
Silver Bullet was my shiz.
Silver Bullet was a good movie.
Fred Savage.
Um, so, with and Craig kind of touched, no, Bill touched on it, I believe. The kind of zombies being different. So, everybody has seen like an old zombie, and if you haven't, you should. But so if you watch them now, you think it's ridiculous. So it's like a undead, like walking towards you at snail speed, but for some reason on the movie they always catch you. There was these slow moving things, and then you turn around and watch a movie like 28 Days Later where they're like running at the speed of light
Yeah.
almost towards you. So, but the constant like evolution and like storylines of like why they are what they are, and typically everybody has their own storyline and they're trying to create their own thing, and the word zombie is not used a whole lot. Um, it's always something else.
Yeah.
Um, but different subcultures within the Walking Dead called them different things um, as well. But
Yeah.
to to me, all right, I'm gonna get real crazy, but I hope nobody thinks too much into this. But of all the supernatural things, I believe that is like the most, um, probably the most thing that could happen.
Hmm.
I don't necessarily know that it would happen, but I think it could happen.
Rabies.
Versus somebody being an immortal vampire or werewolf. That's a thing.
Yeah.
So, if anybody has seen the what is it? The zombie ants. Have you guys seen that?
What was it again?
Don't think so.
Zombie ants.
Zombie
No.
ants, like ants,
Yes.
or my relative.
No, not aunt. Um, so I can't remember exactly. I think it's in the rainforest somewhere. But anyway, there's an actual parasite that will. No, I think it's a fungus to be honest. But regardless, so the ant becomes infected with this, and then it die. The fungus kills it, but the fungus will use the ant's body, so it's like a dead ant, but it's
Wow.
still moving around.
That's really creepy.
Huh.
Like reanimated.
Yeah, so
What?
it's kind of like what is it? What was the old movie? Shit, what was that old movie about the aliens that took over?
Fungus ants. Do
Puppet-
you need some antifungal?
Yes, so the puppet, the puppet masters. It's like that thing. So they just use.
I have to leave.
Uh-huh.
They use the ants to travel around and do what they need to do, and the ant colony will actually recognize this, and they'll like boot them out from the colony and drop them off in the middle of nowhere. But so anyway,
Aw.
like I said, I think this is the most kind of thing that could happen. So I think it plays on the fears of everybody. But the evolution of the zombies. Being different things and how they come to be, everybody having their own storyline, because there's not that much diversity in like the other supernatural beings like vampires and werewolves being like my top two um, supernatural beings, but I don't know. I don't fully understand like the gravity of the popularity of it, but at the same time, I'm okay with it because I do like it, and
Yeah, I'm all for it.
yeah, and it's in most cases, like I've said, and I'll reiterate that most of the time in these movies or games or whatever you're doing, the zombie is just kind of a byproduct of what is going on. It's not really like the focus. So yeah, I'm all for it, and I'm all for Dorian and Bill and Chelisamarie being a fan of zombies. Maybe one day.
Yeah, no. If it's any game that you can want to say it's like zombie-ish, but it's not used, and I highly recommend that you give it. I think you would love it, very selfless. And I don't know if you've played it, Chelsea nor Craig, and most of the chat, but that Last of Us is top notch, top notch.
I haven't played it.
The gameplay
Sounds
is
like I
great
need to.
too.
Bit of
Gameplay is good. They do not skimp out on anything. It's a real, true, active, cinematic. Like you are partaking in a journey. Some could say there's long cutscenes, but it's not. It's really good, really, really good. Definitely best game for the PlayStation 4 right now, hands down.
I've played a little bit of it. My only issue with that game is, for some reason, the movement of it. Like, I don't know what exactly got it. But it kind of makes me sick, like nauseous playing that game.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
motion sickness or something.
Yeah,
Huh.
basically.
I've never experienced that playing a game. I don't think. I don't recall anyway.
Mm.
That's,
Maybe a seizure,
that's strange.
epilepsy.
It might be the 60 frames. You can turn the 60 frames off in that game. You can make it 30. It might slow it down a bit, but yeah, that's what they did on the PlayStation. Is that they upped the frame rate a lot smoother. I like smoother.
Yeah,
Overall.
definitely.
I think I had the same issue with Left 4 Dead. Like the movement of that game had the same effect on me.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That's the one
You know
with
what-
like those little like they almost look like turkey bodies that they like go on your head. Is that the game I'm talking about?
Wait.
Left 4 Dead?
Oh no, that's Half-Life. I think.
Oh, Half-Life. Sorry,
I think
Half-Life.
that's Half-Life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The little like turkey things.
Yeah. Now that's actually one game, Solstice, that I forgot to touch on is Left 4 Dead
Yeah.
for PC. I have both of them. They were on sale. Those are fun when you do like a co-op. Now playing on your own, it's just
Playing solo is kind of yeah.
yeah. But when you get your group of buddies together, and just like, all right, let's grab this weapon, do this little mission. They're like little stories, right? Little stories, not really big canon stories, but just for fun. Same controls as pretty much as Counter-Strike, but with zombies everywhere, and just seeing all the guts and all the weird things that you can do. Like, all right, let's throw a Molotov and just eviscerate and just make a big show out of that. But yeah,
See, even there in that game, it's so simplistic. It's just like a run from point A to point B, but they have the different types of zombies and things like that you have to encounter. And I don't know if you've ever done this, Dorian, to play the online where you can be the zombie. Now
no, I haven't.
that is actually fun. So you get in a lobby and it's like 4 people or like the whoever the main characters are or whatever. If you're playing part 1 or part 2, but then you actually get to be like the specialized zombies, like the hunter and the spitters and all those things. You get to actually be those and try to stop them from getting where they're going. It's kind of interesting twist on it to be the zombie. And recently, I've seen some streams of this, and it's still kind of in. I think it's still in beta, but H1Z1 looks pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I've seen some streams of H1Z1, and it's an early access game
Mm-hmm.
that's it will be free to
It's gonna be
play.
free to
Right
play,
now
yeah.
it's currently I think $25 for the PC. From what I've seen, it looks like a lot of fun if you get your group of people together. Otherwise, it looks like another DayZ-ish where you're either it's going to be fun where you find your stuff and you're happy, or you're going to be running for hours, and where for me it turns into the running simulator.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what I've heard it called.
Where
DayZ I've heard people call it the running simulator.
I actually use a paperweight to hold my W button when playing that. Like, you get the sprint, and like, all right, push the W button, then just gonna keep sprinting, And then like, all right, I found another town. I'm gonna take the paperweight off, and then we're gonna look around. But yeah, no, there's a lot of running involved in that. But yeah, no, I really want to try at some point because it will be free to play. I like giving games when they're free. I don't know. Another topic. Don't really want to dive into that, but yeah, early access games lately just been, I don't know.
Yeah, I have. That was,
It almost looked like The Forest to me, like very similar
yeah, I was
in
getting.
graphics.
I was actually getting ready.
H1Z1.
I was actually getting ready to mention that game, and I haven't gone back to that game in a while. I need to see what they've done to it, but that was fun. But that was The Forest is the storyline on that is cannibals. It's not really zombies, but
Yeah, cannibals.
kind of the same idea of you're in a spot left with nothing and you have to survive. So kind of the same thing going on with that one. But hmm, yeah, I've seen, but they have like um, like a PvP type thing in H1Z1 too. Um, I've seen people stream it where just people are going against each other and not just the zombies.
I know what that's called. That's called Battle Royale. Battle
Yeah.
Royale. Arma 3. I don't know if you guys have played that. That's supposed to be like a real concise simulation of military, and there's so many different mods, different modes. But last night, because I wasn't streaming, I was playing Arma 3. It's called the Battle Royale mod. Basically, it's a last person standing deathmatch, and you gotta keep yourself active. If you camp, you can camp in it, but if you camp and not pay attention to the map, because you gotta be in what's called the blue circle, the blue area of the map. If you're not in it, you're gonna die immediately. You're disqualified. So you always have to keep moving in a sense. Then you can find a place to hunker down,
Uh,
and that was actually fun. I gotta say, I came in the top 10 for the first time, like for the first time ever playing that mod. I'm like, oh sweet, and the second time it was in the top 15. Some guy like lagged across one room and just killed me, which was really weird. But I would, I don't know, I found that quite exciting. I actually enjoyed that mode. I would like to see that more often. Not like in a one spot that's closed, but a spot that's quite large that starts off and then it slowly shrinks. You know, like it won't become like a waiting simulator and stuff. It's quite fast and enjoyable when you actually know how to get your controls and everything all sorted.
Well, speaking of what Shalisa said earlier about games making her sick, what makes me sick is first person in GTA.
yeah, I can't play GTA
Yeah.
in first person. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I
just
can't do it.
Especially when you're moving around, you try to hop in a car. It's like I get dizzy. I'm like whoa, or something like that. And it's just
There's a lot of like jerky movements in the camera when it comes to
Yeah.
GTA first person.
yeah, speaking of cameras, mine's messing up. Yeah,
Oh no! But for me, for GTA first person, for story mode, okay, story mode or certain parts of online when you have to go through a loop or a Hot Wheels area, it's fine. I didn't really get motion sickness or anything. The only time where I think you can, kind of a bit sketchy, is when you do the rolls. Normally in third person, you roll forward, sideways, and backwards. That's only the time where I thought. But there's a few people I know have chimed in and they said that first person, yeah, didn't sit well with their mind and stomach.
Yeah, but yeah, I've tried even the shooting, like the first person being like when you're like doing like a survival thing or whatever, trying to a survival job where you're trying to just outlast how many waves you can last.
yeah.
I can't even do it like that, man. It's I don't know. It seems unnatural. Like I was hyped for the first person shooter, first person view of that game, but then when I got it, I was just like, I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, no, I see that Kawara mentioned on the PC, Solstice, you would know a lot, is some first-person games, you can actually change the field of view. By default, it's like really narrow, so it's really hard to see things from side to side, your peripheral vision, but with a field of view, like for example in Battlefield, by default, I think it's like at 45. I put it to 90. It takes a moment or about a few rounds to get adjusted to it, but you actually do see more of the screen and it doesn't feel so compact, whereas the console, you're really stuck. There's no field of view adjustment for most games, but GTA had a little slider that you could adjust. That's what I found. It did help out.
Gotcha. I might have to look into that because that's definitely um, thing to do. Because just the angle of everything is kind of weird in that game when you go to first person. For me, it is. I don't know about everybody else, but let me get back to work on this call dropped. So
Oh man.
always got to keep me busy. One day there's going to be a show to go off with like no technical difficulties, and it's going to make my life easy.
Yeah.
And by the time I get this fixed, he'll rejoin the call.
You know what I find? Like, if I take a break, then I always get like technical difficulties that first stream back. But if I consistently stream and then I have like the little fixes that I do, and then it goes a lot smoother. But if you take a break for a while, like, because we only do this like considering, you know, we're getting 4 people, 5 people's schedules in together and trying to match them so we can have a quality chunk of time. It's harder to do that, but like, I just find like when I take a break for a while, I always get the tech gremlins, for sure. They set in, and then, but if you're constantly streaming and then you're, you know, constantly defending them off or whatever, then fine.
Yeah.
Am I a robot?
No, you sound clear. Yeah,
All
no, I agree.
All right.
Sir Craig.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you.
I
about
told
the
you
tech.
by the time I got it fixed, he would be back.
Oh,
So,
man.
anyways, yeah. So the only thing that I like in first person is, well, somewhat of the driving and the shooting, but any running or taking corners, hopping into a car, going through a door, screw that.
Yeah.
Freaking- But sorry, just jumped right back in and said that. Huh.
I like first person for the most part. I mean, I do a lot of first person shooters. It's not, and honestly, it's a little weird for me to play games in third person now, like over the shoulder type of, like especially where you're shooting. Like it just seems really, it has a very weird feeling to it.
Yeah, no, for me, I don't feel any, like, we talk about motion sickness, but going from a first person to a third person, I don't feel like there's any issue for me. It just works seamless. Like, okay, I understand how this game works, know how this other one may work, and it just seems to work flawless. But if I'm playing 2 different shooters, for example, and then the control schemes are different, that's when I'm like, I gotta take a moment, like, okay, it's this button. Oh, it's pressing triangle instead of this, whatever it might be. But whereas if I'm familiar, like if I go into Battlefield and then I go from GTA, it's kind of dialed in. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. However, games like Arma, which you can use a controller, but totally not recommend because there's so many button assignments on the keyboard. That one takes a little while because the key bindings, remembering everything that's going on. There's just so much you have to realize that if you press something wrong, you're dead. And it happens all the time. I would try vaulting over something very small, and I didn't mean to do that, and you just get shot where you're supposed to crouch. And I just try to just vault over something.
Yeah. Yep. I was playing too much GTA, and then when I tried to play Dead Rising 3. So in Dead Rising 3, you get to jump in vehicles too. So I would end up throwing my gun on the ground instead of jumping in the vehicle, and just it was a nightmare hitting the wrong button because I was still trying to use the GTA controls. But yes, I don't know. The first person thing is it depends on what game it is. I just don't feel like GTA was like this one was really meant for first person. I don't know. It might be just my opinion, but I think it's a step that they will go
Pardon
to.
me. That was rude.
You feel better, Bill?
I feel great now. I had to pat my back a little bit.
All right. So, I mean, that's all the topics we have for today's show. Anybody got anything to add? Or we can go around and do our shout outs.
No, I think we've covered it.
The only
I,
thing I'll just say is that I hope with this year, the last year's trend on games that were released for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, a lot of them just arrived broken. So I hope this year, it's still early in the year. I hope they don't just arrive like with a pile of, poo everywhere. Just I rather have something that seems to work day one. If it's online issues, I can cope with that. But if it's game breaking, like you lose your game saves or something, like that's been happening on a few games where you put hours and hours in on the first day, and then the next day it's like, oh, I lost my entire game save. Great, I hope those gremlins somehow don't seem to be a big issue or situation from last year, because there was just too many countless games. I think the last triple A release game that was broken, which if I heard and I've seen on stream, was AC Unity on PlayStation 4. I don't know about the Xbox, but I heard on PlayStation 4 it was just broken from day one. I remember seeing iGames like saying, "What the heck is going on right now?" in the game. But that's all I wanted to say. Lastly, there.
I played Unity when it came out for XB1. I did not have any problems with it at all. So I don't really know what people were experiencing, but I think it was more of that whole thing of the co-op mode. I think that was what people were having problems with. Maybe, I'm not sure. So I believe that is going to be our little show for the evening. I do appreciate everybody it's in the chat stopping by. You guys' support is amazing.
yes, you
The
guys are the
support is
ball.
unreal. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, Solfis, thank you so much for hosting
Yes.
this, for putting
Yes.
this together, for putting
Guys.
up
And
the
dealing
overlay,
with all of the
for
technical
putting up
issues.
with the technical issues, making that ass intro, setting up everything. We just show up and we can enjoy talking, and it's such a great experience. And I just really appreciate all the work that you put
Well,
into this show.
Sulfus hype in the chat,
I've-
guys. Sulfus
Yes.
hype in the chat.
Yes,
Hype him up,
let's-
guys.
I'm
For
gonna
sure.
hype it up.
Make sure you drop that
Sulfus.
follow on him too.
I've said it.
Yeah,
once,
hype.
I said it once before, and I'll say it again in a sick, weird way. I like spending a lot of time on all this production stuff, but I'm always like watching, broadcasts of past things to see what I can do differently. The very first podcast we did, I think I watched it like 20 times just to see what I could do
And he really did.
differently. But thanks for you guys for coming out, members of the panel. I do appreciate you guys being here. Another shout out to Leader Dog. You guys go check them out for allowing us to use their music. And I use their music in my streams as well when I do PC streams. Well, now I guess it doesn't matter since that cap card, though. I guess while I'm talking, I can just go ahead and spill all of my things. If you can notice now, I have everybody's Twitter handle on the UI, so you see everybody's Twitter. You can follow me at Sulfus. Same thing with Twitch. I'm easy to find. My names are kind of the same everywhere. You can drop that hot follow. As I said before, my streaming schedule is kind of not really a schedule. I stream when I can. But if you follow me on Twitter, I always announce when I'm going to stream. I think that's it. That's all I got.
Think so.
Dorian, tell the people where to find you, with all the things. Shout out.
Sure.
All the things.
Well, before I do any form of shout out, once again, thank you so much, Sulfus, for having inviting me to be on the vodcast. The production, the overlay, the intro, all of it. It's all by Sulfus. So, guys, make sure to in the chat be very thankful and understanding of what Ursulfus is. He is the product. He's the producer. He's got everything. He's the user interface, everything. So, big shout out to Sulfus.
This is going on his resume.
And having you, Craig, Bill, for having me a part of it. I'm excited each and every time. And this time is even more special. And seeing everyone show up, and having Chelsea here has been a blast. You gotta love that Chelsea, Sulfus, Craig,
Exactly.
and that Bill Buckner. So you guys definitely
Love all you guys.
But to find me,
Love.
my Twitter handle, as Sulfus has pointed out, is right there. It's Dorian_D1990. I always post about an hour to an hour and a half before I go live. You can follow my Twitter. Wait, my Twitter already there. You can follow my Twitch. Man, I always get mixed up with those. You can follow my Twitch. Is the same as my Twitter handle there, Dorian_D1990. You'll be able to find my streams there. That is all my media information that I have. So, again, thank you guys for all being here, partaking in the chat during the vodcast here tonight. And once more, again, thank you, Sulfus, for being such a great host and having us here. And just, despite all the small tech gremlin hiccups, it's always a blast. It really is. So thank you very much there, Sulfus.
Not a problem, man. Like I said, I'll say it again. I'm in a sick, weird way. I like doing all this stuff. I forgot to mention something. So, guys, there will be this VOD of tonight's show will be on YouTube, plus all the other episodes that we have done are also on YouTube. There are links below. I haven't got the episode 4 link up, but it's there. So the link at the bottom of the page, it says episode 1, 2, and 3. You can click on that, and that is the YouTube channel that it's on. Also, real quick, I'll tell the quick story. Somebody tweeted at me wanting to know where my name comes from. So it's a very quick story, and I'll tell you that, and just to get that out of the way. So I used to play EverQuest a very long time ago, and my name on that game was Nether, and I played a Necromancer. And then when I changed games and went to World of Warcraft, I wanted the same name but couldn't have it. So I looked up, I did hyperdictionary.com and looked up like words that had like meanings, and the name Sulfurious was up. So I took that, and then over time it shortened to just Sulfus. So that's that story. Craig, you want to tell the people all the things?
I'm the Craigatron on most things. I just put up my Twitter. It's at Craigers8355. What else? Just the Craigatron on here. I also run it's Mindcast on what is it? Instagram. I don't have a Facebook, so that's about all things that
Is that all the things
that I'm social media, just
All the
here and pretty much all the things. We haven't really said all the things. Like usually we say all the things about a million times.
You say all the things about all the
Thank you,
things.
Chelsea, for being all the things about all the things. Thank you, Chelsea, for being on. And
Well, thank you guys
usually
for having
this is
me.
a boys' club. It's awesome having a female
I can
streamer
be part of the
on.
boys club.
She can
Which
definitely
is
be one of the
awesome.
boys. Bill, all the things.
Yes.
Go.
All the things about all the things. And Dorian, thank you
Everything.
so much for just taking the words right out of my mouth. Just so much props to Sulfus. Without him, this wouldn't be happening, guys. So thank you so much again, Sulfus. You're the man. everything you do is just phenomenal, dude, and definitely put this work that you do on your resume.
I plan for it to be there, man. I like doing this stuff. I don't know why, but I always have.
Well, you do a hell of a job at it, so, dude. But guys, Dorian, thank you for coming back. And
My pleasure.
We'll be seeing more of you. And Chelsea, I'd love to see you back here as well. It was fantastic having you here. Thank you so much for being here.
I would love to come back.
All right. And the Cregatron, the Stash, my dude. Always a pleasure seeing you guys. And you can find me at twitch.tv/BillBuckner1986. Of course, my Twitter is at BillBuckner1986. And I have an Instagram now. So that is also BillBuckner1986. So guys, make sure you hit me up. I'll definitely hit you back. But yeah.
All the things.
All the things.
All the things
cheese
about all the
mug.
things.
All the things about cheese.
Okay. Well, everyone has been really awesome, and thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate that. It's the first podcast I've ever been part of, so it was nerve-wracking and different and a lot of fun.
Then you realize there's nothing to be nervous about.
Well, I'm just a nervous Nancy, so. Though I also wanted to say thank you to all of my people, all of my followers and my subs and my mods for. They're in the UK, so it's very late where they are.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate them hanging out for the entire the entire podcast. Thank you.
Hey, I'm a sub and I hung out.
Huh?
I said I'm a sub and I hung out.
I know. So my Twitter and my Facebook and my Twitch are all the same, to keep it simple. Chelisamarie. You can follow on any of them. And I stream Mondays through Fridays from 1 to 5, mostly first-person shooters. So come on by if you like them. That's it. That's
Definitely.
what I got. Thanks.
Follow everybody that's in the podcast.
Follow
Yeah.
all of the peoples.
I follow back.
So,
Just letting you-
why are you slapping me, Dom? So, again, thanks for everybody. Dorian, Craig, Bill, Chelisamarie, special guest.
Thank you, sir.
You are
Yeah, no,
always...
thank you,
Thank
Selfless.
you.
Chelisamarie, you are always welcome to come back anytime. We do these once a month.
Yeah.
And then, again, Leader Dog. Gotta love that Leader Dog. What else?
Follow all the things.
Follow all the people. Watch all the things.
Is that it?
All the things about all things.
Yeah, if you guys, again, as normal, wouldn't mind hanging out in Skype for just a little bit. Again, thanks for everybody watching. You guys are awesome. Is anybody streaming after this? How about that? Anybody?
I wish.
No, I'm gonna go get dinner and sleep.
Yeah, no. I changed my schedule. For a moment, I had to think there. For a sec. Nope.
I might actually, when we get done here, and kind of chat amongst ourselves for a tad. It's only 10:30 here. I'll probably go.
You gonna stream Sophus, huh?
Yeah, I believe I'm gonna throw up.
Hype.
Hey, make sure you all go check out that Sophus.
I'll throw up.
Yeah.
I'll throw up a stream. Probably some Dying Light. But yeah, again, thanks for everybody showing up, and I shall roll the credits. And you guys have a good night.
Farewell.
Jazz hands. I'm just
Jazz
kidding.
hands.